Hey everyone. Uh, I wanted to talk to you about something that was funny to me. Um, I was going through some struggles yesterday, uh, a lot of drama in my life that I was feeling. And so um, situations happen, problems happen, all this stuff comes up. And it was finished off by a email. And the email, I read the thing about 4 times, and every time I'd read it, I got worse. I was just like, this is so awful, and I can't believe this person would say this. And then let it go a bit, and then I'd go back to it, and I'd reread it, and I'd get even more angry. And so I did this, like I said, 4 or 5 times yesterday, and then I called a buddy, and this particular friend, we talk these things out. It's usually pretty quick how we can just talk things out and get correction and thought process for either one of us. And it was funny because his point of view is I need to clean up my feelings and my thoughts about the problem. And it's a crummy thought. I don't really enjoy doing it, but I can highly recognize that it's important and that it's going to help me heal or help me be able to manage these problems that I'm seeing as like these major things that are happening to me. And so he's telling me that I need to fix myself. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. There's all these other people. And then I'll bring up all these other situations and these people and all these things. And when it comes down to it, it doesn't take long for him to point out I'm the problem with the situation. And what I mean by the problem is it's how I'm perceiving it. It's how I'm seeing it that I'm suffering. It's not what they're truly doing. It's not what is going on. It's how I'm perceiving what's going on. And so he was telling me this, and I wanted to read him the email. And so we were talking quite a while, and finally I said, hey, before I let you go, I want to read you this email because this is what really got me stirred up. So I got to read the email, and what was funny about this email is I read it, like I said, about 5 times before calling him, and I was just worked up galore on it. And this time, when I read it, I finally read it correctly. And I stopped after the second sentence, and I just start laughing and could not believe what I had just done. And what it was is I was so worked up in the situation, so worked up in the drama, so worked up that I misread the email, and I continued to misread the email 5 times. And it wasn't until I was able to talk to this buddy and kind of clear my mind a bit that I was finally able to see this email was not as bad as what I thought it was. And if I would have read it properly in the first time, I would have never had to call my buddy to try to clear up this mess. So the cool learning experience I had with this is we all go through problems. We all go through miscommunication. We all go through scenarios that we believe we're wronged, we're victims, we're all these other things. But this is a great example of this was straight up misinterpretation of the problem and misinterpretation of the information I was taking in. And now when I can actually take the information and write, all of a sudden I realize there was no problem in the first place. And so, yeah, it was a really cool experience. Suffered a lot that day trying to figure this stuff out, and it took a simple reread and not putting myself in this and actually seeing the message properly. All of a sudden all my problems went away. So think about that next time you're suffering and struggling with problems. Is maybe it's not what you actually think it is, and if you just take some time with it, you may have better clarity and know that it's really not that big of a deal in the first place. So I hope this helps. It was a great experience. I hope it helps me have a little bit more clarity next time I get all worked up about something. All right, take care, guys.